This is The Lily Root, rewritten by me for Matrix Readers Theaters.
Emily Muspratt was 10 years old. She lived with her family on a resort in Manitoba, north of Lake Winnipeg. Emily had a younger sister named Hattie, whom she often looked after.
My father works for a First Nations organization as a company health worker. He visits First Nations communities to help develop location health programs. Hattie.
Our mother is a teacher's aide at the school.
Narrator 2.
Emily took care of Hattie on Saturday afternoons when her parents went to town to shop for food.
Emily.
What after Hattie now, Emily? Don't let her wander away.
I'm going to teach Hattie how to play cat's candle.
And off her parents went to market.
Narrator 3.
And off her parents went to market.
Emily pulled out a long piece of string tied together to make a circle.
Narrator 3.
Hattie watched as Emily weaved the tiny string between her two hands.
Show me how to do that.
Spread your hands and fingers.
Emily wrapped the string around Hattie's thumbs.
Move your fingers like this.
She showed Hattie how to wind the string between her fingers and hands.
Hattie.
That's what he wears when he plays and rides his bicycle.
Oh, you're up here, Hattie. This is not very easy, Hattie.
It is
very easy.
Keep trying and you'll get it. Look, there's Peter.
Peter Crane rode his old bicycle past the girls.
See those old and worn out jeans he wears?
That's what he wears when he plays and rides his bicycle.
Neither girl spoke to Peter as he went by.
As the two sisters were playing, old John walked along the path by their home.
Look, old John, I made my first cat's cradle.
See, I told you could do it.
Old John smiled and waved the girls over to him. Then he spoke softly to them.
I'm going to tell you a story. It is about the Lily Root.
He motioned to the two girls to sit beside him on the small bench.
One day, Shomis and his grandson were walking in the bush. They came upon a small river with a big pond.
Look, my grandson, what are lilies in the pond? You must get me a lily root.
Why does he want a lily root?
Lily roots are important to Salish people. After Shomis dries the root, he will grind it into powder. It becomes medicine. He'll use it to keep healthy.
How did he get them out of the water?
His grandson removed his boots and socks. Then he rolled up his fan's legs and stepped in.
Grandfather, the mud is oozing between my toes.
Shomis stood on shore and pointed to the lily plant he wanted.
Stop there.
When the boy reached the lily plant, his pants and legs were wet and muddy.
Grandfather, this mug is smelly and dirty.
Yuck.
Ew, yuck.
He reached to the water quickly to pull out the root.
Be careful. You must not break the root when you pull it up. The medicine will be spoiled if it is taken from a broken root.
Grandfather, I got hold of the root and pulled hard, but nothing happened.
Use both hands. Be careful now.
When he yanked the second time, the boy's sword became wet with the muddy water.
Grandfather, nothing is happening.
Reach deep forward both hands.
Very slowly, the boy bent over the beautiful white lily flower. He reached with both hands for a better grip around the root.
You must reach deeper down with both hands.
But grandfather,
Go deeper.
He realized he would have to get all wet with the muddy water. It still smelled. He held his breath. Quickly, his face went underwater. He bent right over the plant with both hands deep around the stubborn root and pulled and pulled and
look, grandfather, I got lily root.
Very good, my grandson. Bring it here to me.
he walked back to show to Shomis. He went he was wet with head to toe. His skin was itchy. Mud covered his feet, his pants, and his shirt.
Did he get the lily?
It looked like, old John.
At one end of the plant was the beautiful white flower. At the other end was the muddy root.
Now I must clean the mud from the lily root and cut off the flower.
What did Shomis do with the flower?
Maybe he gave it to his grandson.
My, you are a sight.
I smell like muddy pond.
They both laughed. Then Shomis held the lily root very gently.
This will make me feel strong and healthy. The root is more important than the flower. Many people are only in the pretty flower. Remember, my grandson, the lily root.
Hayati and Emily sat quietly next to old John.
Now the story was over and old John stood up.
You be good now.
Thank you, old John.
You old John. Good night.
And Emily and Hayati walked to their house with the string. They too would remember the lily root.